This is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharp. I'm here live to take your U.S. immigration related questions. Put your questions in the comments now. So tonight I'm only focusing on your questions. Put your questions in the comments now. You're here in the US, you're trying to figure out how to be able to get your papers to stay here in the US, or you're outside of the United States. You want to know your options to come into the United States. I'm here to answer questions now. Keep in mind, though, that this is not personalized legal advice. This is general information. But I do want to let you know that there are ways to be able to get your papers, whether you are here or whether you're outside of the United States. There are options available. Now is the time to ask those questions. And you can always give us a call. We are working 24/7 to be able to address the questions and needs of immigrants to be able to get protection here. So we are helping clients to get protection from deportation. We're helping clients to secure their green cards here, getting their work permits here, and also even if they're going through removal proceedings, we are defending clients against removal. So this is your chance to ask those questions. All right. So I see one already. Hi, how long should it take to start filing for green card based on marriage after getting married? Great question. There is no time limit. You can apply right after marriage, but here's what I would say is you should really make sure you're getting guidance on the timing. Why? Because even though there's no rule saying that you can't apply the day after you get married, is it a good idea? So, for example, if you met on a Friday, you eloped on a Saturday, because that is possible for you to get married very quickly here. Would you file the papers on the Monday? I would think that's not a good idea because you just met on the Friday. You have to put your documents together to show your bona fide. So it's going to take you at least a month to get, I'm estimating, maybe even sooner. Find a place, put your assets together, figure out how you're going to spend money together. That's going to take time. So you'd have to make sure you take the time to put the right evidence together because, guys, they're not playing around with immigration marriage applications. Just because you're married to a U.S. citizen does not guarantee you're going to get that green card. You still have to go through a very rigorous process. And if you don't have your T's crossed, your I's dotted, it can turn into an ugly process. So keep that in mind. Now, here's where I would say apply and where I have applied for my clients the day after they got married or the week after they got married. That's where the clients have history. So they're married, but they may be married today. We filed a week later, but they were in a relationship for 3 years prior. They were engaged for 2 years. They have a history together. Their families know each other. They live together even. And all that's needed is a marriage certificate for the process to move forward. That's a strong case from the get-go. The day after they get married, they have all they need to go ahead and submit a strong application. What I would say now is it's so important to make sure that you have a strong application from the get-go, because having a strong application can actually dictate the way that the rest of your process is going to go. Having a strong application can mean that your interview is going to be a smooth interview. Having less documents rushing to file is going to definitely create issues, because if you have, I call it a skeletal application, that means you just file the bare forms, very few documents. In that case, when that goes to the officer, it's already red flagged as a possible fraudulent application. They're going to put you through the ringer, especially at the interview. So where I'm seeing this is if they call you in for an interview within a short period of time after applying, it means that they're going to place a lot of emphasis and their decision on how the interview goes, because they may be looking at the evidence. They want to interview you before they make a determination on the evidence. Maybe it's very little evidence. So it's very important to submit a solid application and spend that time doing that. Thank you for the love. I appreciate it. September 13, 2025 made it 3 years since I filed for FAWA, but nothing yet apart from prima facie. Is that normal? I would say yes. So 3 years is about the time that people are getting decisions. It could be more. It could be more. I'm not really seeing any less than 3 years, but it could be more time. You can look at the processing times on the USCIS website and you'll see that. Is there any changes regarding the T visa processing and timeline? Yes, so T visas have gotten longer. It's taking almost 2 years. However, keep in mind that the T visa comes along with a work permit and a bona fide determination, and that allows individuals to be able to get protection from deportation while they're waiting. So it still offers very good benefits while you wait. Do you review documents for persons you are not representing? That is persons who are completing documents for themselves. So not in our appointments. We do a strategy session to talk about the strategy that we can pursue as your attorney. It is always best. I would say here now, I'm not mincing words. I'm going to be very straightforward. You get a lawyer. Right now, the processes are very complicated. And if you are not versed in immigration law, then you should not be submitting these without an attorney representation. Now, if we were to sit down and review documents, first of all, we can't do that in 30 minutes. That would be reckless. Second of all, we don't want to take on that liability, because reviewing documents is still can have a very different outcome than representing our clients through the process and ensuring everything is done properly, that we are there for our clients, we're fighting for our clients, we're advocating for our clients where it's needed. That's what makes us stand out here. We don't give piecemeal representation. We represent our clients, we hold their hands through the entire process. We're there for them. So when our clients call us or there's an issue, we know the issue and we are on top of it. We respond, we correspond with USS, we advocate for our clients to make sure that they go through the entire process. So not having an attorney can be detrimental. Like, for example, and let me tell you another reason why we offer full representation. So, for example, representing our clients through the T visa process. We could get a request for evidence. If we just filed the petition with the evidence, filed it, and then left our client to do the rest, that actually puts our client in danger of a possible denial in the future. Why? Because if they get a request for evidence, they may look at that and they may just say they are not going to be approved. They don't know how to answer it. It's very legally based. They don't understand what's on that request for evidence. So once we get it, which we have received a request for evidence and we have prevailed, looking at that document at first, a lot of people would be like, oh my gosh, this is not going good. And we've gotten approvals on that, right? Because had our client gotten that RFE, I'm pretty sure they would not have been approved, but we are there for our clients. So when we get things like that, we can respond quickly, we can respond strategically, and that client succeeds. So it's so important to have representation through the entire process to ensure that we're able to advocate and bring them all the way. All right. My girlfriend and I have been together since 2021. She has a son from a previous relationship. Before we started dating, we both applied for the DV lottery in Bahrain. She won the 2024 DV lottery, but I didn't. She'll be moving to the US this November, and I'll be left alone here. She suggested we get married before she traveled. What's the best thing to do? Well, in this case, marriage is a big step. And I don't want to advise whether you should get married or not just on this live. That's because getting married could change things for her. Coming into the country, going through having the visa being processed, she's registered as an unmarried individual. And so it could change things for her as well. So what I say is give us a call. Let's talk about the full what's going on in the process, what's going on, what stage, what kind of approval did she get her already to enter the immigrant visa to enter the country, and we can advise better there. Because when it comes to, so one should never get married, divorced without getting legal advice, because taking those steps can drastically change the way that your application or your process is going to go. So when making life-changing decisions like that, make sure you're also getting legal advice. Um, how is H-1B for CPT and OPT is gonna work out? I'm currently in the US doing CPT, need to apply in 2026. Will my company need to pay the 100K if I don't need a visa stamp and only adjustment? So yeah, the 100K applies to any new petition submitted. So even if you're on OPT, CPT, it's still going to apply for any new petitions that are filed. So in 2026, if those petitions are filed and you're selected, then it means that you have to pay the 100K before you can get that status. So yeah, it's that's the deal right now. Um, my question is, I am on J1. Can I file green card directly through NIW petition? I'm from India. No, if you're on J1, you don't have the 2-year foreign residency requirement, then that's possible if you meet the NIW qualifications. She won. Yeah, okay, so I answered that. Is there any changes regarding T visa processing and its timelines? I answered that. No, if you need specific legal advice, that's the best way to go, because this is not even legal advice. This is general information. Give us a call. We first do an initial free evaluation. We ask some questions to make sure that you potentially qualify for an option that we can help with. Then you will talk to one of our attorneys here to discuss possible options moving forward. What is next after receiving I-765 for T visa? Then you wait for a final decision. I need representation on asylum court only. I'm looking for a lawyer here in San Antonio. So we represent clients in all 50 states and the globe, and we do have deportation defense practice. Get in touch with us so we can help. We are representing clients all over. No matter where you are, we're going to come to you and we are going to defend you in court. So give us a call, get started there. What should I do to upgrade my I-130, and should I apply for I-485 or wait visa? I'm in the USA. Give us a call. It just depends on who's sponsoring you. Is your priority date current? Do you qualify for I-485 adjustment of status? When you say the wait visa, I'm thinking you're referring to the priority date, and a lot depends on that. So it's very important to know where you stand with that priority date. My prima facie sheet determination letter is already expired. So if it is prima facie for VAWA, they will automatically issue another one. I'm on TikTok, so you can go ahead and put your questions in the comments. How much for an urgent consultation? 150. First call, do the free initial evaluation. You can do that right now. And then we will be able to, should you qualify for something we can help with, we will then schedule you for an appointment. But the slots are filling up, so please get in touch with us ASAP. No matter what time of day you are in need of advice, you can talk to us, call us, talk to us. We're very easy to get in touch with. You can contact us by message. You can contact us by DM us. You can call us in order to get started. I haven't a criminal record, VAWA, green card pending. I was married to a citizen. Can I be deported? So if you have a process that's pending, it puts you in a better position. Even if you are ever detained, you have a way to defend yourself even in court. In court. And those who have a pending process that they qualify for are likely to be released on bond. You have a way to get out on bond, or have your case terminated, or not be detained at all. So having a pending process, it does not necessarily guarantee that you'll stay out of removal, but it definitely puts you in a better position than someone who does not have anything. So this is where I say the first step is you need to evaluate what are your legal options. Don't give up on yourself before you even look into that, because I would say a majority of my clients before coming to me thought they had no options. Many of my clients out of that majority now have their work permits. They are living here with their green cards. They're happy, they're safe, because they took the steps to evaluate their options first. So this is where I say get in touch with us and we can evaluate options. We ask questions other attorneys don't tend to ask, and that usually leads us to good solutions for our clients. What happens if you have approved VAWA, but you have a case in court that was admitted closed? So it depends on what kind of case. You have an approved VAWA, that's great. But did you have a court case after the VAWA was approved? Give us a call, talk to us. Are you going through adjustment of status now to get the green card? If there are any admissibility issues, we need to know ASAP, because that can prevent you from getting the green card, and you want to submit a waiver if that's required. How long it take to get a work permit after applying for VAWA? 6 to 12 months. Good evening. What is going on with VAWA? I filed 2024 and still no work permit. If you file the VAWA, you file now keep in mind, it's 6 to 12 months for a work permit as long as you filed adjustment of status. All right, I'm bouncing between platforms. As an F1 visa holder, would it be a good thing to have your brother file an I-130? It's going to take a very long time, a minimum of 14 years. So it's unlikely that you'd be able to maintain your F1 visa for the duration of the wait time. If you're on legal status and you file an I-130, it could possibly, if you're going to renew your visa, it could possibly interfere with your intent. So, whether you have immigrant intent or non-immigrant intent. So you have to be careful with it. Good evening. I just came on. Is it true that persons that are in the US for 4 years without criminal record can apply for status? No, it's not law right. That may be coming from the proposed law. It's just a proposed law. It's not law yet. Hopefully in the future, I say I would say this, we're hoping for immigration reform. We're hoping that the bills that have been put forth in so the Dignity Act is the latest one. We're hoping that it does yield something in the future. But I say in this climate, we have a ways to go, and it's about educating people about the benefits of having immigrants here, even those who are here without their papers, in order to get to that place. So my hope isn't lost, but it's going to take some time. Does the new rule apply for CAP exempt H-1B for non-STEM students? So I believe it does. So when I looked at the regulations, I believe it does. Good evening. How long is, and this is, we're talking about the 100K rule. How long is it taking for work permits after biometrics for the T visa? So so total from date of filing, I would say 8 to 10 months right now. What happened if you approve FAWA? Okay, so I entered that. How long it take to get a work permit after applying for FAWA? 6 to 12 months. All right, I'm on TikTok again. I'm currently enrolled in college in Maryland and want to know if I can apply for work and visa. You may be able to change your status, but it depends on what you qualify for. Or you could go back to your country and do an interview at the embassy. It just depends. That is a very broad question. It may be possible, but we'd have to figure out what you qualify for. U.S. citizen parent sponsor adult unmarried children prior to date 2018 case NVC. How long again for green card? So I would say it takes 5 to 7 years just to get to the current priority date, and then add another a year to 2 years on top of that to get to the final interview. Can someone call you? So call the office right now. You'll see the number at the bottom of the screen. Call the office. The way that we do it is we do a free initial evaluation, and then you get scheduled for one of our attorneys that will then go ahead and do an evaluation. The attorneys and I work very closely together. So the person you're seeing here that with the level of experience and analysis that I have, the attorneys here at the law firm function the same way. So you can give us a call, talk to us, and we can evaluate the best course for you to go forward. When a case is withdrawn by USCIS, why is that? So there may be some qualification issues going on. So in cases where they've withdrawn it, either that or there may be an approval for another type of benefit. So they're withdrawing the other case. So that could be it as well. I've been here in the US for 12 as F1. What can I do to get the green card? So it depends on your education, your qualifications, your relatives. Do you qualify for any additional immigration benefits? I submitted VAWA last December 2023 concurrently and got EAD AP. Will I get approval this 2026? I've been seeing a lot of them take about 3 years. Keep in mind that processing times are changing as things change in the background. So I would say 3 years, but keep in mind that the USCIS posts their processing times and you can see the range of time. So it is over 3 years, but it's a range of time that they're taking to decide these. I did get green card interview in May. Nothing has been updated online since then. What should I do? So you can put in a case inquiry if it's been more than 4 months. So yeah, so it's about 4 months now. You can put in a case inquiry, just stating to them you did the interview more than 120 days ago, and you're looking for a decision or an update. And that may nudge them to make a decision or look at your file again. How much for filing fee for a child under 14 filing without any parent? So I would have to look at the fees. You have to be very careful with the fees. So that is something you'd have to look at the fee schedule. Did the case inquiry? Sometimes it takes them a while to get back. So yeah, sometimes it takes a lot of persistence, and sometimes, sorry, sometimes it's about just waiting it out. So yeah, if you have any issues that is prompting that can prompt them to do an expedite, that may also be a way to approach it. Um, I have I-485, married to a US citizen. 3 months ago, I applied. I did my biometrics. When I receive my work permit? It's 3 months so far. So I say 3 to 6 months for a case type like that. I got approved for I-129 this year. If I transfer my H-1B, do I need to pay one? No. So it's no, keep in mind, I'm not your attorney. Make sure you're talking to your employer, and your employer should be getting clarification from their lawyer. But this is for new petitions filed after. So basically, the new petitions that are coming now after October, I believe, or September, they had a specific date. So that's why everybody was rushing back into the country who had H-1B because they thought it applied to them. So it's going to be a situation where it's for new petitions filed. I-751 approved based on extreme cruelty. Can I file N-400 or 5 years was married to? So it's usually 3 years based on extreme cruelty. Did an interview in June, but case is still actively reviewed. What to do? So usually they will say 120 days after the interview, you can put in a case inquiry. Um, what's the best thing to do for the international student that are currently studying in the US? It depends on what you qualify for individually. Do you qualify for NIW? Do you qualify to change to another status based on a relative? Do you qualify to go to another visa type? It just depends. I was told 1440 for I-45. So I can't tell you fees here. You don't want to depend on me because I would have to look at that. Believe it or not, every case that we file, we make sure we're looking at the costs because if anything changes, sometimes it may be a little more complicated because there are additional fees along with the adjustment of status. So every single time we check the fees, we have the online calculator that we use to make sure that it's all correct. How long it take to get work permit through I-45 through marriage with valid entry? 3 to 6 months, I would say, is the timeline right now. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate that on TikTok because and I encourage you to share, like, subscribe, follow. That's how other people see this information that can empower them in their immigration journey. And right now, immigrants need that more than ever because we have so much going on that can make us feel less hopeful. But what I can say here at SC Law Office, every day is hopeful for us because we are reaping the rewards of the work that we've done for our clients. We see hopeful results. That really pushes us forward. We're getting work permits at a time where people are saying, that's not happening. People aren't getting their work permits. People aren't getting, all of that is gone. No more this, no more that, no more green cards. We are here, and we are telling you that they're continuing to process these cases. And I want to be able to tell you that to give you hope that there are options out there. And that's how we are taking action, is by finding legal solutions that help our clients to stay here and get protection. Okay, how long you see it's taking people to get their work permits through marriage? So we just recently had a client that got hers in 2 months, actually 1 week after doing the biometrics. 2 months after filing. It's possible to get it within a shorter time, but the realistic timeline is 3 to 6 months. Um, A friend on VAWA applied for renewal of EAD in September 8, 2024, which expired April 2025 using 6 months extension. Up till now, they not answer him. They didn't pick call. What can he do? So it depends. Now, yeah, we're seeing processing time for work permits, even renewals, upwards of a year. So that's not out of the ordinary. I know it's frustrating. But if there is an urgent situation where you need to get that work permit ASAP, for example, is your friend working in healthcare? Are they working in childcare industry? Are they facing a humanitarian issue, an urgent medical issue that they need to have the EAD? Then they can submit for an expedite request. What happens if you have approved VAWA, but you have a court case that was admitted closed? So I would want to know more about that. I have I-485, married to a US citizen 3 months ago. I applied, I did my biometrics. When will I receive my work permit? You could receive it any day now. Um, okay, besides a job offer, H-1B, marriage, safety concerns, NIW, what other options can change from F-1? These are always the response I get, and I'm tired of reaching out to lawyers for the same story. So we evaluate options based on your experiences. You can always reach out. Going from F1, if you have an F1, it just depends. I can't tell you what you qualify for unless we actually talk with you. If you've gotten, no, I always say this, many of my clients that thought they didn't have options, spoke to other attorneys who told them they had no options, came to us, and we were able to find the option. In a situation like this, where you're basically, do you qualify through work, through humanitarian, so a T visa, U visa, asylum, VAWA, right? So it's based on family, employment, family and employment, a business, or your qualifications. If the attorney has scoured all of those and they have found nothing, it's up to you, but you can always check again. We do ask questions that no other lawyers ask, but that's basically everything, right? Humanitarian, which is asylum, T visa, U visa, um, asylum, family. Do you have any family that can sponsor you? VAWA, Section 245I, an employer, right? Work visas. Those are generally, I mean, there are more than 20 ways to get the green card to be able to change your status to permanent resident. But generally, those are the areas. And most attorneys don't look at the areas that we look at. So this is where I say it's really up to you. You want to get a fourth opinion, you do that, but don't stay there hoping or, trying to say, always wondering if there was another option. I filed for VAWA since April 2022, still expecting the approval. Yep. So about 3 years, and it's a little more now on the processing times. Good evening. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for the well wishes. I appreciate it. After the I-129F is approved, you get married, then your spouse is here. Is next step the I-45? Yes. Adjustment of status within 90 days of coming on the visa. Are they still processing T visa, and how long after can you get the work permit? Yes, yes, yes. We're getting T visa work permits. We're getting T visa receipt notices. Guys, there's not one type of legal remedy under the law that has been stopped. Green cards continue, VAWA continue, T visa and U visa continue, asylum continue, and we have gotten approvals in all of those areas. How long it take to get divorced to someone you're not in contact with? So I'm not a divorce attorney. You should see a divorce attorney about that. Can you talk about the T visa? So I'll definitely do that tomorrow or Wednesday. But here's what I'm going to say. If you find yourself in a situation where you feel trapped and somebody has made you feel trapped, so there maybe it's an employer that's not paying you properly, they're paying you late, they're using your immigration status against you. Maybe it's a family member, maybe it's even an intimate partner that's making you do things against your will, making you work, making you do acts against your will. And and you feel like you can't leave because they're doing things to make you feel stuck, then it's time to talk to us about whether or not you qualify for the T visa. That's as simply as I can put it. And I put it that way because a lot of people, it's such a complicated area of law. And we help our clients to be able to get it. But that's the starting point is we need to understand, are you in a situation like that? Is the first discussion before consulting still free? So we do a free initial consultation. It is not legal advice. What we do is we ask very specific questions to determine whether there's an option that we can help you with. Because so many times people will say, I just want to know, can you help me? So that's the first thing we want to answer is there a possibility that there is something we can help with? It's not a guarantee, it's not legal advice, but it's a free initial evaluation to be able to help you to determine whether you should make the investment. So it's very fair. After that, then and we determine that wait, there is something that we want to talk to you about, figure out a strategy to move forward, then we schedule a strategy session. And that's $150. You talk to our attorneys here at ST Law Office, and then we will, once we determine, yes, we have a case, we move forward full force to get to the solution and get you your papers here. I have question for you. My friend has been here for every. Okay, so if your friend is here on the visa, then we need to ask more questions about what they qualify for. That's where the free initial evaluation would come in. So give us a call right now, DM us, and we will be able to assist. By the way, if you're here, you can even comment on the video and someone will even respond there. Don't put anything confidential, don't put your contact information, but you can say you're interested and we can get in touch with you and let you know how to get in touch with us. How long will it take? So answer that. What's the best proof of bona fide marriage to send with your package? No lease or credit. So this is where I say it's not one size fits all. What's the best proof? There, I would say, if you want me to like pick one, there's no one evidence. It really you have to put it together for the officer to be able to picture what your life looks together, how you're building a life together. So it's however you're living as a married couple. You said no lease or credit. Well, how are you living together? How are you moving to forward together as a couple? You need to show that. If you're living with a family member to save money, have that family member do an affidavit talking about the fact that you're living in their household. If you have roommates, you have a roommate that's maybe has signed a lease or they're subleasing, you're living with a friend, you need to show that. If you don't have a joint bank account, but you send money to each other to pay bills, or you go ahead and you jointly pay bills, then you need to show that. You may not have credit together, but maybe you have a light bill together, you have a utility bill together. You need to show that. So it's however you're living your life. That's going to be the most important thing, is how are you living together as a married couple? When we take on our clients, that's what the first thing. We don't want to construct something that's not there. We don't construct evidence that's not there. But what we do is we ask the couple, how are you living your lives? What do you do for bills? What do you do living together? And then we put that forth in the application. All right, I have to call it a night. Oh my gosh, so many questions. Let me see. If you got I think prima facie sheet determination letter, that means you qualify for finance against woman. I'm not sure. I'm sorry, that sentence is it's not clear. I did my marriage interview 2 months ago, and it says active review. Is it okay? It means that it's not denied. It means it's still pending. I just got my 10-year green card last week. Congratulations, through my husband. Can I file for my mom? She's here. No, 10-year green card holders cannot file for parents. How long after filing for T visa can you get work permit? Based on our experience, 8 to 10 months is the timeline. So this is where I encourage you to think strategically and think in a long-term way, because a lot of people don't get short-sighted. A lot of people will be like, 8 to 10 months. Oh no, I'm not going for that. But you don't qualify for anything else, right? G visa might be your only option. So my whole thing is, well, if you start now, you could get it in 8 to 10 months. And our clients that have made that move are winning, because in that moment they were thinking long term. They were not thinking in a short sighted way, right? Because in immigration, unfortunately, nothing comes overnight. But you start now, you start in a way that's a strategic, effective way, then down the line, you get that protection. And then another thing to consider is just having a pending process can be beneficial. It can, even if it doesn't stop detention, it can stop deportation. It can stop detention in some cases, because it offers, for example, the T visa, VAWA offers temporary protections while you wait for a decision. So the end result is not just about the work permit, but what that process can mean for you and how it can put you at an advantage in the process. For example, we had a client that was detained. However, when we swiftly, and this is where having representation through the entire process is beneficial, our client was able to let us know, well, our client's family let us know client is detained. We instantly jumped into action, reached out to ICE, showed evidence that our client had a pending process in place, and our client was released within an hour of us letting them know this. So this is just going to show how a pending process can be beneficial. So think in a long-term way, think in an action-oriented way and a solutions-oriented way. That's what we're doing, and we are reaping the rewards of our labor and how proactive we are. All right. I am going to head out. Is it okay to work in a different state from where you file your paperwork? You should just make sure that you are doing a change of address. If you change address, make sure you're doing your changes of address using the AR-11 form. If you get married and you want a divorce, will they take back your green card? No, there are ways to get around that. No, they're not just going to take away your green card. But if you have a 2 year green card, you're going to from a 2 year to a 10 year. That's where you have to be very careful. You have to make sure that you make them know through a waiver that you're applying on your own. If you already have a 10 year, they can't just take away your green card unless they discover fraud and they have to send you to court to get that done. So you give us a call if you're in that situation. We want to hear from you because we help clients out of situations like that every day. How should I book a consultation with you so you can assist? What's the best way to do it? Go to the link in the profile and schedule there. So you fill in your information. You can do the evaluation form. It's an initial evaluation form, not legal advice, but it lets us know whether there is an option we can help you with, we can potentially help you with. Once you get through that, you can book your own appointment. If you want to talk to us, call and talk to us. Give us a call. The number is going across the screen right now, and my number is on every video. So you can also just look at the video or in the caption, call the number. We're 24/7. Thank you so much. I provide this information to empower people through their immigration journey. So I'm hoping that is doing that. And with that, I have to head out. Thanks again. I am working to get back tomorrow. So like, subscribe, follow, share so I can hit your timeline when I go live. You can get notification. Can you call now? Absolutely. 24/7? Yes. Call us now and we will answer. So we have staff working 24/7. All right. There a way without inspection? T visa is a possible way. We have to find out what's going on. T visa, VAWA are possible ways if you entered without inspection. We want to talk to you. So this is where I say we ask questions that other people don't ask, and that's where we find solutions for clients where they weren't able to find. Do you represent persons in Miami, Florida? We represent clients in all 50 states. I just got back from Seattle, Washington. So that I was attending a client's interview there. So yes, we travel all over the country in all 50 states and the globe. So no matter where you are, you're down the road. We're here in Delray Beach, Florida. You're down the road, you're around the corner, you're way up north, you're in a country in Africa, we can represent you. And we do. All right. Have a great night, everybody. So nice to see you. And I am looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night. Bye bye.